Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for tuning in. We have some really interesting things to talk about, and it'll kind of take your mind away from everything going on at the moment. We'll get to that, of course, and we will get to a whole lot of things, like Hillary Clinton becoming nominee. They're not going with Biden. That's absurd. But I want to read you something that's really hilarious. I want to read you a Washington Post article, and it's former intelligence chiefs. Trump's removal of experts is deeply destructive to our nation's safety. This is today, the Washington Post. First of all, who are these experts? Two of whom, by the way, were found to commit perjury, to have committed perjury. One of whom engaged in surveillance of President Obama's Senate. That would be John Brennan. John Brennan. I am so important to the safety and security of our nation. And the other one, Clapper, said, I'm not wittingly. I don't know wittingly if we engaged in any wrongdoing regarding surveillance of Americans. So, to my super chat, thank you so very much. I know you have better things to spend your money on, but if you want to support me, the super chat is there, so I appreciate it. I'm going to read you this, which is kind of hilarious. Actually, very hilarious. And it is a situation where you have President Trump taking them to task, removing people from their positions, removing unelected officials from their posts because, they used the Steele dossier to set up and frame an incoming president. But let's read this here. Former Intel chiefs, Trump's removal of experts. So these don't you love? I mean, my God, the propaganda couldn't be more in your face. Experts are important. Well, when experts don't agree with them, then they don't like experts. When it's 3 million Democrats voting for Biden and Bernie, who will drop out any day now. We're waiting. People on the left, like when I was on the left, like, H.A. Goodman said Bernie can still win. Yeah, up until July 5th, 2016, genius. He was going up against somebody who committed major crimes. That's not even relevant as to whether or not Clinton will be nominee. They don't care. Of course Clinton will be nominee. But here, Trump's removal of experts in 2020. Trump's removal of experts is deeply destructive to our nation's safety. This is hilarious. By Joseph McGuire, John Brennan, then you have a whole bunch, and then Michael Hayden and James Clapper. So you have like 5-6 other intelligence officials here. Joseph McGuire, John Brennan. You have just a whole bunch of you had like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 intelligence officials, including James Clapper and John Brennan and Michael Hayden. And then Joseph McGuire. This is, by the way, what Joseph McGuire was the interim national security advisor, right? So anyway, the United States and the world faces a historic threat to its health, well-being, and economy. The global, and then, fill in the blank, challenges us all, the public, cities, states, and of course the federal government. But as we collectively fight this calamity, the intelligence institutions that help protect us from the current and future threats are also under attack from an insidious enemy, domestic politics. What? What? We have no clue what any of these agencies do. We have no clue what any of them do. So, this is kind of hilarious. But it's like, you haven't even... number one, you haven't even explained why you're experts. When they asked John Brennan about the Steele dossier, he goes, "I don't do evidence, I do intelligence." So they lost to Trump. They lost miserably. Then before losing, they set up and framed President Trump. They thought they could utilize the United States government literally against an incoming president. Didn't work out. It didn't work out. And you then have a situation where they're scorned because they feel that they should go unopposed. They think that they should just. They think, and this is the hilarious part of the way they do business. They really think that they can utilize a dossier purchased by Clinton that was complete and utter nonsense the moment it was written. They think they could utilize a dossier to then deceive FISA judges to go ahead and 15, 17 times state false information to deceive the FISA judges, and then not only investigate and surveil and set up everyone around Trump, but start a special counsel that finds absolutely nothing, then lead to impeachment that, by the way, doesn't list anything to do with Trump working with Russia, all the while setting up a very dangerous precedent when you're talking about blaming other countries for your election loss. Blaming other countries for your election loss. That's a very dangerous precedent. And now President Trump, rightfully, is cleaning house. He's taking names. He's getting down to business. You have William Barr. You have John Durham. So this is all happening, people. Now, this is not the end of the world. I know that you see this sensational. There's total cases. People's lives lost. Total cases. And it's also Fox News, too. It's not just MSNBC, CNN. It's Fox News. It's the media in general. Oh, my God, are they loving this? They're loving this. They have so much. They're getting so much enjoyment from this. And it's not good. This is counterproductive, ladies and gentlemen. It's not good. This is everything that you were interested in, like John Durham and William Barr, and the fact that Comey, Strzok, McCabe, Clapper, Brennan literally texted each other, "We will stop Trump." What more do we need? What more do you need as a society to understand? You had FBI officials who utilized gossip, literally gossip, and who literally stated, "We will stop this man," which also means we will cover up anything that his political rival did. What more do you need to then ensure that the people who are responsible get taken to task, or at least are held responsible from a legal sense? Now, if you say like, well, James Clapper got out of it, Andrew McCabe got out of it, Comey got out of it, yeah, just recently, because there's an ongoing probe. John Durham has an ongoing investigation, and he needs the political will, and he needed the political will. Eric H526. HA, keep up the awesome work, my friend. Thank you, Eric H526. Eric and Luke St. Martin are the two best moderators in all of YouTube. Eric H526, I have to thank you for just being extremely awesome. Thank you so much for just everything that you do, Eric. Thank you. You're awesome. Thank you, Eric. And so, anyway, let's continue. But as we collectively fight the intelligence institutions that help protect us from current and future threats, really how? You mean the Gulf of Tonkin, the Bay of Pigs, the Gulf of Tonkin. Let's see. They didn't predict the fall of the Berlin Wall. Bush's failed interventions predicated on failed intelligence, which was also predicated on a horrific, the worst day in U.S. history that I can't even talk about on YouTube, which was also predicated upon intelligence failure. So you have those issues, the Bay of Pigs, the Gulf of Tonkin. How many intelligence... All throughout the 70s, there were intelligence failures. Oh, we didn't know this. We didn't know that. We didn't know this. We didn't know that. Oh, that's funny. Another devastating conflict in that region. We had no idea. You can go through the whole litany. This is like... You know who has a better track record? You know those people, like, I don't know if they're still on the radio, but they'd be like, this is Fast Jimmy's lead pipe lock. Michigan State plus 10. It's a lead pipe lock. Michigan State plus 10, everyone. To beat, Wisconsin. Those people have a better record than the intelligence community that Democrats revere because they used the intel community to set up and frame Trump. So you have you have that track record, which is absolutely horrendous, an absolutely horrendous track record. And so they're like, oh my God, what is Trump doing? Just want to let you know that, you're stocking up on toilet paper, but don't forget how upset we are. The most recent illustration of this unprecedented attack is the continuing dismissal of career intelligence professionals. Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe you shouldn't have tried to set up and frame Trump. Gosh, that's too bad. Well, I guess John Durham will get to the bottom of it. Officers who have ably served both Republican and Democratic administrations, regardless of their personal political stripe. Yes, that's because both Democrat and Republican are the same in many, many ways. Just ask Biden and Hillary Clinton about their votes pertaining to the endless, horrific quagmires that Dick Cheney and Donald Rumsfeld and Bush and, oh, that's right, people like Max Boot and Bill Kristol who are voting Democrat. There's very little difference on a lot of things. Created to connect the dots and coordinate U.S., I can't say certain words, operational planning. This agency brings together representatives from across federal governments to maintain critical watch lists, monitor threats in real time, and make sure that disparate elements of massive federal bureaucracy respond in coordinated fashion. Although we are heartened to see President Trump nominate an experienced... Okay. And then they're upset about Trump removed somebody from an agency I literally can't talk about the name on YouTube because it has a word that is part of the, banned word list. But now both are gone to be replaced as a yet unnamed acting heads who will undoubtedly know less and who will be more beholden to the intelligence community's politicized leadership. Oh, so you mean that... You mean Trump is getting people who are loyal to him? Ah, got it. Okay. You mean James Comey wasn't loyal to President Obama? That's interesting. That's bizarre. Because if you look at Peter Strzok and a whole bunch of agents, Kevin Kleinsmith and Lisa Page and Agent 1, Agent 2, and Agent 3, all of these different agents, their text messages are like, oh my God, Trump won. What could we have done? What could we have done? So they weren't loyal to President Obama. Okay, got it. The next acting heads might or might not be gone themselves in a matter of months if the president's nominee is ultimately confirmed. In the meantime, who manages... So they're basically talking about John Ratcliffe. They do not want John Ratcliffe. They don't want John Ratcliffe as Director of National Intelligence, which is what James Clapper, his old job. They're really upset. They're really upset. They're like, oh no, John Ratcliffe. We don't want him. He's not one of us. He's not one of us. So, they don't want John Ratcliffe as Director of National Intelligence, which is wow. I mean, what a pump fake that at first he said, yeah, Ratcliffe, and then he removed Ratcliffe from consideration, and then immediately, well, I mean, not immediately, but within like 5 months, brought him back. And now he's the Director of National Intelligence. President Trump, in a matter of 3 years, check this out, ladies and gentlemen, this is huge. Ladies and gentlemen, this is huge. I mean, absolutely huge. He replaces he replaces James Clapper, okay, with John Ratcliffe, and in a matter of 3 years. That is like it's basically like replacing Debbie Wasserman Schultz with Reince Priebus or whatever his name is. You know what I mean? It would be like replacing Mitt Romney with Jim Jordan. Basically. Same thing. Freedom Autopsy Report. We are being taken over by Big Tech. Freedom Autopsy Report. Thank you. Thanks for always watching. Hope all is well. Hope you're doing well. Thank you so very much. Freedom Autopsy. Thank you. J-Man. This is not a fake. H, wake up. It's not fake, but to shut down the country, I disagree, respectfully. J-Man, thank you. To shut down the whole country? I'm like, oh my God. Look at the numbers in China. Look at the numbers in California. Look at the numbers nationally. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. Okay? It makes no sense at all. But here, so they're going after John Ratcliffe, which is absolutely hilarious. It's really, really funny. So they're like, the next acting heads might or might not be gone themselves in a matter of months if president's nominee is ultimately confirmed. In the meantime, who manages the critical security tasks, including watching lists, and ensuring that the government-wide structure remains well integrated? Yeah, I'm sure that's what these people care about. And then there's another article, the Trump administration adds to its purge of professionals. Notice the interesting thing. The Post's view, this job is essential. Trump's nominee is not qualified. Yeah, right. You know what? This is the editorial board about John Ratcliffe. So all of this is about Ratcliffe. That's hilarious. Let's read this. This is hilarious. This is basically also a protest from Clapper and all of them. The job is essential to U.S. security. Trump's nominee is not qualified. Yeah, that means that he's not the type of person to set up and frame an incoming candidate based on gossip or hearsay. My IQ, I don't know. I think it's non-existent. I think I don't believe I think that there's a Harvard professor, Howard Gardner. Okay. He had the theory of multiple intelligences. Let's see. Howard Gardner, theory of multiple intelligences. So I don't believe in IQ tests. That's just me. I don't believe in IQ tests. So my detractors would say my IQ is at 0 anyway. So, but like you can have people who are absolutely brilliant who would score very low on an IQ test because they're brilliant in terms of music or art or engineering or fixing things with their hands or memory or but spatial, linguistic, musical, so that's, I guess, my full answer. But anyway, so how did I get here? How did I get to that? So where was I? Oh, yeah. John Ratcliffe. John Ratcliffe. We don't want him. We don't like John Ratcliffe. He's not one of us. He's not qualified. He's not qualified to lead this wonderful, intelligent community. Washington Post. Yes, because the Washington Post is definitely not biased. Okay, hold on 1 second. I lost it, of course. Oh, yeah. John Ratcliffe is not qualified at all. It took only 5 days for President Trump's nomination of Representative John Ratcliffe as Director of National Intelligence to implode last summer. The Republican congressman, best known for his rabid defenses of the president, was widely described as the least qualified person ever. This is they're like high schoolers, like scorned high schoolers. Oh my, this is like totally the least qualified person ever. This was the least qualified person you could ever find. Okay, as a political so who is Milton? John Ratcliffe is totally the most unqualified person who's ever even existed. Yet, Trump picked him. Thanks a lot, Trumpy. We're doomed. In an attempt to bolster his credentials, Mr. Ratcliffe made false claims, heightening bipartisan resistance to him in the Senate. When he scrapped the appointment, Mr. Trump conceded that the congressman had not been vetted for the job. Now Mr. Ratcliffe is back. Mr. Trump announced Friday he was putting Mr. Ratcliffe forward again for the Director of National Intelligence job, offering the patently dishonest explanation that Mr. Ratcliffe's nomination was delayed to await Inspector General's report of the FBI Russia investigation. It's patently false, patently. The real motivation is probably far more cynical. Mr. Trump believes he can now force the Senate to swallow his choice. Oh, that's a good one. The Washington Post is getting really salty. You're just going to force us to swallow his choice, Trump? Because the alternative is to retain the even more objectionable acting director he appointed just under 2 weeks ago. They don't like Richard Grenell. Why? They don't like anything Trump does. There's nothing that he does the Washington Post is okay with. Do you understand? Nothing. Do you understand? Nothing. There's nothing. There's nothing. There's nothing that there's nothing that he does. There's nothing that he does that they're okay with. So let's continue. Richard Grenell, the ambassador to Germany, whom Trump installed as acting DNI, has even less experience than Mr. Ratcliffe, a junior member of the House Intelligence Committee. It's all about experience, like John Brennan. He has good experience. I'm so experienced that taking dossiers where Trump said he enjoyed showers of a certain sort with yellow liquid. Oh, those kind of showers. Who does this? Who would even do that? Maybe that's how Trump got his orange skin. From those type of orange showers. We have to look into this for 3 years. Here's the dossier. Where was it purchased? Don't worry about that. I do intelligence, not evidence. Don't worry about that. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Trump worked with Russia. We have to investigate for 10 years. Okay? Don't worry about it. I'm reading the comment section. They're pretty awesome. Okay, so... More importantly, Mr. Ratcliffe, Mr. Granello can be expected to squash further reporting by the Intelligence Committee about Russian interference in this year's election. My God. My God. Russian interference. Always. Isn't it interesting how there's always interference when it hurts Democrats? How does that work? How does that work? Is there anything Russia likes about Democrats? My God. What about the 20% of U.S. uranium capacity? Do they like that? Or they dislike that? I forgot. Okay. Oh, they like that or they dislike? Which one is it? Which one is it? Do they like or dislike? So, it's just unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. So people have, the average American, it's unbelievable how, it's unbelievable how in 3 or 4 days, and this goes into media too, they don't like Ratcliffe, they don't like the fact that Trump is, firing and letting go individuals who really helped frame him. They set him up with a dossier. Then they got a special counsel based on the memos of a disgruntled FBI director who was also canned. And it's unbelievable. I mean, it's really unbelievable. It's really unbelievable. And you look at how media works, and nobody realizes the philosophical worth of President Trump. In terms of you can have a media that consistently deceives Democrats and liberals. They don't like Trump, but they do know that the media deceives, but they're okay with it because the vast majority of media is not wearing a "Make America Great Again" hat. They're voting Democrat, and it's unbelievable how you can be rest assured that. If this were a Democratic administration, the country would not be shutting down. I don't care what anybody says. California would not be shutting down. Yes, I understand it's serious. In California, there's 40 million people. 19 people have lost their lives, which is horrible, but there's 40 million people. 40 million, 14% of the U.S. GDP. 40 million. 19 people have lost their lives, which is horrible. But they've shut down the entire state. You mean to tell me they would have done that if it was Hillary Clinton? They had 3 million Democrats risk everything to vote Biden. These people are the biggest hypocrites on the planet. Businesses have to shut down. Everything has to shut down. Oh my God. But it's when it's voting Democrat in the primary. No, we have to. No, we have to. Then you have this actor and that actor and this actor, and then they're going to survive. Thank God, everybody's going to survive. It's not a sentence that means the end of your life, even if, whatever. But it's really interesting you need somebody like President Trump to to push back, and this is why this election is going to be the most important election of our lifetime. It really will be, and I'll tell you why. We've never had an election where maybe Bush, Gore, and I say this not because I'm the biggest Al Gore fan. I say this only because of the philosophy of intervention and never-ending conflict. Never-ending started with Bush. George W. Bush. George W. Bush. Maybe I'm assuming Gore would not have reacted in the same manner forever. I'm assuming that. But this election is going to be corrupt intelligence officials, dishonest, deceitful media, Democratic Party that's on the ropes, that is fighting for its very existence. And if they win, they now have a recipe for, they won't win. Hillary Clinton's going to lose. Okay, so let me get back to what I enjoy. Okay, Clinton is going to be nominee. How do we know this? This is the exact opportunity. This is the opportunity that I was explaining endlessly that I didn't know what would take place. King James, hello. King James, hello. Hope all is well. I didn't know what would take place, but I knew that there would be something. I knew that there would be something that would allow Madam Secretary to kind of say, okay, well, we need the real deal here. We can't just... So she's waiting. Once Bernie Sanders drops out, you will see Hillary Clinton regain the mantle. She will regain the mantle, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? And here's a little interesting tidbit that you might not know. Okay? Here's a little interesting tidbit you might not realize or might not know. Democrats are going to be begging for Clinton to run again. Because the average Biden voter is a person who voted Clinton. How many Biden voters are voting for Clinton? How many voters of Biden voted Clinton? Like 95% of voters. 95% of voters. 95% of voters. No, sorry, 99%. 99% of Biden voters. Hey, Cheval. Hey, Cheval. Hey, man. Hey, man. I can't. Biden's hilarious. Notice how he's not speaking now? Notice how Biden is definitely not speaking. He's like, nah. Notice how Biden is not speaking. I love it. Hey, man. Come on, Fat. Hey, Fat. Hey, Fat. I'm going to take your AM, PM 13s and 14s and 12s and 11s. Why do you need an AM, PM 11? Huh? If you look at, I'm just going to put a hashtag I'm with her, okay? Oh, I'm still with her. That's the hashtag on Twitter. Yes. 1 hour ago, They're retweeting Clinton. I'm still with her. I'm still with her. I absolutely hashtag respect the First Lady who earned my respect. This is like all yesterday, the other day. My God, I'm still with her. If anyone wants to feel even worse in this current state in the world, I recommend the Hillary Doc series on Hulu. And then, like, you have memes. I'm the last thing standing between you and the apocalypse. That's because you'd usher the apocalypse. Madam Secretary, October 11, 2016. I'm telling you, they're gushing. They're gushing. They're in love. They're in love. I'm looking at these right here. This is so great. This is so great. Oh my God, I'm waiting for this. Hey man. Hey. Shlamalama ding dong. Hey man. Hey fat. Hey. Cornflakes. Pickett's charge. I voted for Hillary Clinton. None of this is on my hands. Yes, because Madam Secretary would have gone to and prevented the spread herself. Yeah, whatever. Madam Secretary, the Golden Muumuu had already been tested numerous times and failed every test, but whatever. Wow, so much. Okay. The Trumpists will never get around to acknowledging this, but public health, national security, the economy, markets, civil rights, civil society, and much more would be in better shape right now had a certain someone other than Baby Huey been elected all those years ago. Hillary Clinton. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. No, this is the advisor to Michael Bloomberg's campaign. That's interesting. Why did Bloomberg drop out a day after Super Tuesday? That's really bizarre. That has nothing to do with the choreographed exit. It's really bizarre. This is all for Biden. Do you understand that when Biden some way, I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know whether the golden one will fly down with a jetpack. I don't know. But there's no way that Joe Biden's going to be nominee. I will have made, ladies and gentlemen, the biggest political prediction of all times. I know that nobody wants to hear it. I know that nobody wants to hear anything. They just, right now, it's people don't want to hear anything. I guess the only thing people want to hear is how, like, doom and gloom, but it's not doom and gloom. It's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Even though people are like, businesses are shutting down and, states are shutting down and the reaction, our reaction to something that is not as grandiose as people make it out to be is absurd. In 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 2 weeks, I would say, because the country cannot stand, we cannot do this for that long. We can't, California cannot survive this way. Governor Newsom, my God. California and LA, we cannot survive this way. First of all, they're not going to get the state's revenue is going to tank if they continue to play dystopian, Hunger Games nonsense. They're doing part of this. There's a political calculus here. It's not. You better believe if it was a Democrat in office, they wouldn't be so enjoyable. You're lying, dog-faced pony soldier. But the Muumuu will answer Judicial Watches. But see, Judicial Watch is amazing. Tom Fitton's amazing. But that is gonna last well into the next election. And you will see indictments. You will see a lot. I mean, Judicial Watch will help save this country big time. So will Tom. Tom Fitton is like a hero. If you want to talk about, heroes in the political sphere, Tom Fitton is a hero. Okay. Bernie Sanders, people think is a hero. He certainly is not a hero. He certainly is not a hero. Fomenting and spreading and regurgitating the hoax, the myth, the fantasy that Trump worked with Russia is not heroic. And not being able to say I was cheated by Debbie Wasserman Schultz is the antithesis of heroism. He's a good human being. His actions are rooted in the belief that he wants to help people. But if you look at what he's actually done, Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren have made sure that Democrats never again look at Medicare for all. They think voters think they're or the media's well, he's introduced a whole lot of progressive ideas. No, he hasn't. He has made them now. Before they were not really feasible. Let's say they are, but even if they were feasible, he's made them into issues that Democrats never want to discuss again. Ever. Every day that goes by, there's a Bernie dossier waiting. Just waiting. If he pushes it, the Democrats will be like, here's a Bernie dossier. Fire hydrants, oh my God. But, hello, teacher, TRX, hello. Julian Assange, yes, he is a hero. He is a hero. Absolutely. You risk your life, or you go ahead and you illuminate. When you shine a light onto darkness, you're a hero. And I wrote in the Times of Israel that Assange is a tzaddik, which is a Hebrew word for like a holy person, but like somebody that does something really, really, really good for humanity. It is good to find out the corruption. It's good to find out about corruption. Okay. But you're talking about a situation, ladies and gentlemen, where a lot of these people are like actors. So, Fitton is not an actor. Assange, not an actor. Bernie, he's not an actor, but, he kind of has lived his life recently as one. Revco! Even some on CNN are behind Trump. ATM 2020 looking good. By the way, shout out to my wife, Crystal. 16 years together and hitting our first anniversary on the 1st. Nice! Revco, congratulations! Happy anniversary to you and Crystal. Happy anniversary to you and Crystal. Congratulations. God bless you both. Fantastic. Great news. And a big shout out to both you and Crystal. 16 years together and hitting our first anniversary on the 1st. Fantastic. That's fantastic. Well, that's great. Revco! That's fantastic. Well, wonderful, Revco. Thank you so very much as always. Revco, congrats. And Crystal, congratulations. It's great news. Great news. You're looking at a situation where a lot of these people, ladies and gentlemen, are actors. A lot of these people are actors. They don't really care about. there's a lot of thank you. There's a lot of Revco. Congrats again, Revco. Thank you. Congrats again to you and Crystal, and that's fantastic. A lot of these people are like, they're part of a theatrical performance. This is a charade. You don't have people dropping out. You don't have people dropping out of the primary, like immediately dropping out before and after. It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. You know. It doesn't make sense. And this is something that I think most Americans realize, that it's not as dire as media makes it out to be. But we're all looking at this like, oh my God, like, it's astounding to me how you take the third most populous country in the world, it's China, India, and then the United States of America, and you can and government could literally just shut everything down under the guise of protecting people's lives. And it's like, you look at the numbers, the numbers don't, I'm not going to get into it. If you look at the numbers, they don't add up. They don't add up. Even they don't add up to the projections, or they definitely don't warrant these draconian, like, you know, these draconian measures. It's really unbelievable. It's really unbelievable. And that's the thing. The funny thing is, like, Democrats and media are like, oh, you know, let's just play dystopian novels. Second Amendment. For free reign! Biden is doing his part to stop. He's allegedly laundered. Yeah. Biden is doing his part to stop. Yeah. Transfer. He's laundered billions. Yep. For free reign. Thank you so very much. For free reign. Thank you. Well, there's Hunter. You might be referring also to Hunter. For free reign. Thank you very, very, very much. Greatly, greatly appreciated. I know in this day and age, I just appreciate support. For free reign. Yeah, let's look at Joe Biden. For free reign. Everybody here. Joe Biden. Let's type that in. Biden, he's talking about vice president candidate. Look, let's say Biden picks Amy Klobuchar or Kamala Harris or whatever. Or Kirsten Gillibrand, which he won't, but I'll still tell you that Hillary Clinton's going to be nominee. There's no way. It'll be part of a theatrical performance. There is no way they're going to go with Biden. On the centennial, the 100, they're going to try to also, they want two women. They don't want one, Biden and a woman. Then the centennial of the 19th Amendment, for free reign. I just looked at Biden right now. Thank you again for free reign. Biden's vice president candidate. Party leaders favor former rivals. There are no party leaders. There are no leaders in the Democratic Party. There's only two leaders. Discussion with 60 Democratic officials found 3 former candidates. Lord. Kamala Harris, Warren, or Amy Klobuchar? Warren would be a great one. See, exactly, Thomas. I think so. I think what'll take place is this. Now, what will take place is, Biden is just waiting until Bernie. What a thorn in Hillary's side. Just a thorn in the moo-moo. Bernie is still there. He's like, I demand this. You're not going to get anything. You're not going to get anything. They're just using you to funnel progressive votes back into the Democratic Party. And look, the people who are not voting for, but they say, well, I'm not voting for Biden. I respect them 100%. I think they're great on the left. But you have to understand, that's a very small percentage of Bernie Sanders supporters. The reality is that 90% plus of Bernie supporters will vote for Hillary Clinton. There are no Biden voters. But let's say Biden tomorrow, or let's say next week, he comes out with, we're going to go ahead and we're going to, I'm going to have Amy Klobuchar as my vice president. Orange Grove 55. Garcetti said a second spike might come later in the year, just in time to tank the economy again before election. No politics, though. Exactly. I love Orange Grove 55 for free reign. Don't you love also when they're like, it's almost certain that Russia will come in, and you know what? We're gonna might have to close down the country right before the election. That would be too difficult, huh? That would be, what a coincidence. Don't you love that? Don't you love that? Orange Grove 55 for free reign. Thank you again. Don't you love the fact that they telegraphed their treachery? I love it. It's so hilarious, too. Just to let you know, the Russians are in. They're in. How far are they in? We don't know. They're in. They're in. We don't know how far, but they're pretty much in. You know. All I can tell you is that Trump is going to win. He is going to win. He is going to win. And, President Trump is going to win. That's the only thing I can tell you. He's going to win. And when you look at the way Democrats are running, they're so happy. They're so gleeful. They're playing with something that's not sustainable. It's not sustainable. It's not sustainable. Shutting down the entire U.S. economy under the guise of protecting lives is not a sustainable thing, because then you're actually hurting lives. People don't when did people stop understanding that at a certain point, if you stop economic activity, then people's lives are at risk, big time. How many, if you need to go to a dentist now because you have a toothache or you chipped your tooth, what happens? If your car isn't working, what happens? If your heater isn't working, what happens? If your air conditioning isn't working, what happens? What happens? People aren't, what? The economy has stopped. The economy has completely stopped. So you're going to save lives in this manner? What about people who need, special medications? The pharmacies aren't open. So now what are you going to do? I guess pharmacies are open. But this whole thing is, what's a non-essential business? What's a non-essential business? What if you have a leak in your home? I don't know. This entire thing is Thank you, Nicole. Nicole S. Thank you. This whole thing is, it's almost as if Democrats really enjoy this. It's almost as if Democrats really, really, really enjoy this. And I think they were waiting for this type. They were waiting for this type of Armageddon type of scenario. You better believe that they're happy now. They're like, oh my God, finally something that wasn't Russia, because they made up everything. So now they can just say, oh well, this is Lakers finest. Yes, great name, love it. The Democrats just made it easier for Trump to win by cheating Bernie again. I know. Lakers finest, and got you right here. Eugene, hello. Lakers finest. I gotta tell you, I think that what you said hits home. And, when the season starts up again, Lakers are going to win it all whenever the season starts up again. When will the season start up? When will NBA resume? Oh, there might be like a game that, you have to start. The season needs to start eventually soon. I mean, come on. Adam Silver lays out conditions for NBA return. Moles charity game diversion. So Lakers, when they come back, will win. Lakers finest. But they cheated Bernie again. So Bernie also had a bad Lakers finest. So obviously Lakers will win when the season resumes. And you have LeBron has more time now to recuperate. Oh my God, the Lakers are going to be Anthony Davis has more time. Oh my God. So, JaVale McGee is 32 years old. He's awesome, but you have a lot of players in their 30s or close to 30. So, Dwight Howard 34, Rajon Rondo is 33. So you have all of these people relax like this is the best thing that ever happened to the Lakers. Because they're just, you don't even think about it, but But when they resume play, oh my God, you have a fresh Laker team. It's game over. It's game over, ladies and gentlemen. It's game over. But Bernie Sanders in 2020 was more of a media creation. A lot more of a media creation. And they cheated him again. So, they cheated him again. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you very much. I will be back at around 10 p.m. Pacific. So, to my super chat, thank you so very much. I also have new Patreons. I want to thank you. To my new Patreons, if you're watching, thank you so very much. So, just thank you so very much to my new Patreons. To Maya, thank you so very, very much. And there's some other people. Let's see here. To my new Patreons, thank you. I'm trying to look. Thank you so much. And to my super chat, thank you. Everyone, God bless. You'll be fine. We will all be enjoying the most epic. Can you imagine the live stream for the only person in all of YouTube who called this 3 years prior? Hillary Clinton versus Trump again. Can you imagine? It's going to be epic. I'm going to do a live stream on H.A. Goodman's other channel not right now, but in November also. Subscribe to H.A. Goodman's other channel. People, thank you so much. Be here at 10 p.m., around 10 p.m. Pacific time. I'll have another epic live stream. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. Have a great evening.